All right. So again, this is our first of the three series of webinars on how to do business with the state of California. My name is Teresa Macias, and Jermaine already introduced us. There is our contact information is right here. Teresa.macias-ruiz@dgs.ca.gov and jermaine.carter-gibson@dgs.ca.gov. And the email that he said that if we don't get to answer all your questions, or maybe we couldn't because the question is very specific, you can email business_outreach@dgs.ca.gov. So you have all of our information in there. All right. All right. So we're going to be going over a few topics. So the first one, we're going to do an overview of the SB-DBBE certification program. We're going to go over the CaliProcure registration and certification. We're going to go a little bit over the keywords in Unsc Codes. We're going to talk to you about biz solicitations, where you can find them, current and past, because it's important to also know about the past solicitations, and I'll tell you that when we get there, why. We're also going to be showing you how to find SB-DBBE advocates, which are your go-to state employees to try to help you win a contract. And then something very important, because it is the law, it's we need to talk to you about the commercially useful function, which you must perform if you ever get a contract with the state. And then, of course, we're going to give you a little bit of resources or show you who you can go to for additional help. All right. So the state of California has contracting goals. Olivia talked a little bit about it. We do have a small business 25% goal and 3% to disable veteran enterprises. Okay. So in the fiscal year of 2019-2020, the state of California sold almost $12 billion in contracts, okay, or purchase. And out of that, 2.8 billion went to small businesses, and this is billion, not million, billion, and 463 million went to DBBEs. Right? If you remember, we talked about 25% goals. We didn't quite reach the 25% goal for the small businesses. We were pretty close. It was 23.7. We had a lot of emergency purchases, and I think that also had to do with us not maybe reaching the goals, but we did surpass the DBBB goal of 3%. We did 3.8%. So that's great for the veterans. All right, so we have three types of certifications. We have the small business for the purpose of public works, and the disabled veteran business enterprise. All right, the DBBE. I'm probably going to be fluctuating between saying small business SB or small business for the purpose of public work SVPW, or for the disabled veteran business enterprise DBBE. So I'll be fluctuating depending. All right, so we're going to talk about the small business eligibility requirements. Okay. So one of the things is that your company must be independently owned and operated. You cannot be dominant on your field. Okay, whatever field you're in, you cannot be the dominant. Your principal office, yes, you have to be in California, because there's any of the advantages we want to give them to of having the certification, we want to give them to Californians. Continuing on the requirements. So if there are owners, okay, the owners or officers in the case of a corporation, they have to also live in California. If there is affiliates, okay, you have to be a business with 100 or less employees, and your gross annual receipts, they have to be an average of 15 million. But so this is average over the past 3 years. So say this year you earn, 20 million. The prior year is 10 million. And the year after that, it was 15 million. You still are at the average of 15 million. So you'll be fine. For a manufacturer, you can earn whatever money. You can earn $1 billion, and that would be great if you can do it with 100 or fewer employees, right? There's no cap for manufacturing.
Or did somebody do that on purpose?
Whoever's talking, can you mute yourself, please? Thank you. All right. So now the small business for public works eligibility requirements. They're pretty much the same as the small business. You must be independently owned and operated. You cannot be dominant in the field of operation. Your principal office has to be located in California, and the owners or officers, they also have to be in California. The difference is the last bullet, okay? Together with affiliates, you can have up to 200 or fewer employees. So up to 200. And your gross can go up to 36. And it works the same way. It's an average over the past 3 tax years. Now, let me tell you something. If you are in the public works, you do not need the certification of the small business public works if you have not surpassed the other eligibility requirements, the 15 million gross average and the 100 or less employees. So do not get it. You can still do public works contracts, okay, if you're a small business, but unless you've surpassed the 15 million or the 100 employees, then you don't need the certification for the small business for public works, okay? Very important. All right, so for the DVVE eligibility requirements. So to be eligible for DVVE certification, you have to meet the following criteria. You have to be a veteran with a 10% or more disability, okay? You have to have at least 51% ownership, and it can be by one or several disabled veterans, but they all have to have the same eligibility, 10% disabled and all be disabled veterans. If it's an LLC, a limited liability company, it has to be 100% owned by disabled veterans. So that is different. And they do have to live in California. And just for the purpose, let's make sure that a disabled veteran is a veteran who served in the U.S. military, naval, or the air service. Okay, I just wanted to make sure that everybody knows that. All right, continuing with the requirements. So the daily operations, they have to be managed and controlled by one or more disabled veterans. It doesn't have to be the owner, okay? The owner has to be a disabled veteran, but it doesn't have to be the owner who manages and controls the everyday operations. So you can have other people, like a manager. I could be a disabled veteran and be the manager of that company, and it would be okay. The home office, though, it does have to be located in the U.S., okay? And it cannot be a subsidiary of any kind of foreign company, firm, anything like that. All right, so this is a little bit about the certification and eligibility on that. Is there any questions?
Awesome, thank you, Teresa. Let me check. So a couple things came in. The first one was about small business certification in SBPW. So they said they have the small business certification already, and asked, because the SBPW is relatively new, should they get that also?
Yeah, and I think I touched a little bit about that. If you haven't surpassed the 15 million average or the 100 employees, then you do not need to have the other one. You can still do contracts in the public works arena.
Absolutely right. And the last question was, so with the small business, do I have to make $15 million, or is it 15 million or less?
No, it can be, the cap is 15 million, but you can make more one year, less another year. It's okay. If you make less than 5, the average, then you'll be considered a micro business. So that's the only difference. But you can make anything as long as your average doesn't surpass the 15 million over the last 3 tax years.
Got it. Last question so we covered the gross annual revenue, that it does not have to be in millions. And so we touched on ownership. Currently, I'm an LLC, but was looking to take on partners and switch to an S Corp. Can I still qualify to be a DVBE? The answer to that is yes. Whether LLC or an S Corp, you can still be a DVBE.
As long as you meet the criteria, right, Jermaine?
Absolutely.
With
Yeah,
the
as long as you
10%
meet those criteria, your corporation status, either LLC or S Corp, still apply. Okay, let me see. Do I have an opportunity if I don't have employees? Yes. So even if I'm sorry. The next question was, do I have an opportunity, I assume, to get certified if I don't have employees and only have 1.5 years of operation?
Yes, you do. I know that I said, and we'll go into the other part. It will, when you go and register and certify, it will ask you for the 3 years taxes, but you don't have to have 3 years. It's whatever and however many years you've been in business. Okay, so if you've been in business 1.5 years and you only have 1 tax year, then that's what you're gonna submit, and that will be okay.
Awesome. All right, that's all of the questions for this section. Thank you so much, Teresa.
I am so sorry. My little kitty just came over to my lap. Distracting, my new pet. All right, so we're gonna talk a little bit about the benefits of certification. Can you hold on for a second? My little kitty doesn't wanna. Nico. I'm so sorry. All right, so some of the benefits of having the certification are you have access to contract opportunities, and this is going to be in CaliProcure. You can set your profile, you can update it, you can look at other people's other companies' profiles to make your profile better. So you can do all kinds of stuff in CaliProcure. And then one of the most important benefits is that you can have up to a 5% incentive for DVVEs, and then up to a 5% bid preference for SBs. I'm going to explain a little bit about having the applying for the SB preference, and the DVE incentives work sort of the kind of the same, but it's not exactly the same. So let's say we have 2 bidders, okay? A and B. Bidder A is not certified. Bidder B is certified. So they both bid, right, for a contract. Bidder A is 100,000. Bidder B is 102,000. Normally, the lowest bid wins the bid, right? But this is where we can apply the 5% bid preference. So what we would do is we take 5% from the lowest bid. So 5% from 100,000 is 5,000. So what we do is we take that 5,000, we subtract it from the $102,000 to give bidder B, which is the certified business, a 97,000 bid, right? So in this case, with the adjusted bid, bidder B will win the contract. But guess what? You're not going to win it for the 97,000. You're actually going to get it for your original bid, which is $102,000. So it pays to get certified, right? So this is just a little bit about that. Other benefits that we have is we have reciprocity partners. So we have about 59, and this is between cities and counties, special districts, and utility companies. They all accept the California state certifications, okay? So normally some of them that you have to certify through them or get their own certification. But if you have ours, they automatically will, you'll be okay with them, basically. You also have access to Prompt Payment Act, which gives you higher interest penalties on undisputed claims, okay? And then you're able to participate in the SB DVBE option. So this is in a way that buyers can contract with SBs and DVBEs by asking for bids from 2 SBs or 2 DVBEs for goods and services from 5,001 penny all the way to 249,999.99. So it's the quicker option, and many of our state agencies are having this this kind of option. They do have the SB DVBE first option. So that means they'll go to this option first. And once you get your certification, you're certified for 2 years. Okay, so once your certification is about to be, once you have to recertify, you'll get an email about a few months. I think it's like 3 months before it expires. So reminding you that you have to resubmit your certification. I wanted to show you where you can find the reciprocity partners. So one of the ways is when you go into, or you log into www.caliprocure.ca.gov. This is the homepage, okay? This is where it will take you as soon as you do that. So you would go into find training and resources. So once you click there, it's gonna take you to this other page. So you'll scroll down to where it says resources to grow your business. And it says leverage your state certifications for local contract opportunities. Once you click there, it will take you to this other page. This is the page where all the reciprocity partners are listed. I didn't do, I only did one screen of it, so it doesn't capture all of them, but all of the 59 reciprocity partners are going to be here in this page. And once you click on them, they have a link to, if you find an organization here and you click on it, it will take you to their homepage, okay? Also, to find advocates. So I'm gonna show you also how to find the advocates. So again, from your homepage, you go into, click on the tile that says get certified. Once you click there, it's gonna, oh, I'm sorry, it's a prompt payment, sorry. Once you go there, it takes you to the other page. You click on the prompt payment assistance. Once you click there, it's gonna take you to the other page where it has all the information about prompt payment. It has the contact information if you have any questions. So it's good to have and to know where this all is at, okay? All right, so any questions about that?
All right, yes, a couple questions came in and I wanted to wait to answer for the group. So Gregory asked, this question came in during the incentive. And the question was, so who does that calculation? Is that done automatically? And what is the noted, who determines the noted price structure?
I believe that would be the contract administrator, but correct me if I'm wrong, Jermaine, you have more experience with this.
Yeah, so how that works is, so your buyer, they receive all of the bids. And it's really straightforward. So they, like a buyer friend of mine, they just have a spreadsheet and they'll plug in the bids with everyone's associated certification. And the spreadsheet will automatically make the bid preference, subtractions once all of the bids are in, and they determine what is the lowest bid, and that will automatically happen. So it's each individual has their own spreadsheet that's gonna completely make all of those calculations for them. And a link to the reciprocity partners, I will put that in chat. And I believe that's it for this section.
Thank you. Thank you. See, I didn't know about that. That's spreadsheet. Thank you. All right, so we're going to talk a little bit about CaliProcure, and you've already seen it. So I've been showing screenshots. I didn't do live because sometimes the system goes down, the website kind of goes down, or it freezes or whatever. So I just, it's better and safer to just do screenshots, okay? But CaliProcure is the state of California's online marketplace where you can register. You can apply for SBDVV certifications, and you'll get certified for 2 years, like I already said that. You can search for bid solicitations and contracts. You can search for reciprocity partners. You can search for advocates. and it doesn't cost you anything to get certified. So that's really important. Some other places, sometimes they do charge you to get certified. State of California certifications are free. And of course, all of these, this is our website, www.CaliProcure.ca.gov. So once you click there, what you want to do is go to the top right-hand corner, and you're going to do login and register. So this is, I'm going to take you through the registration and the certification now, okay? I'm going to walk you through some of the screenshots that you'll see as you're doing it. So once you click on the login register, you'll have to click on new bidder registration, because that's if you're new to the state, right? So once you click there, it's gonna be 5 pages of questions that you'll have to answer, okay? Once you answer all of the questions, they're pretty simple. This is all basically your tax ID, your address, all of that information that you would normally have in your company profile. Once you go through those 5 pages and submit, it will tell you you have successfully submitted your registration. So what will happen is you'll get an email to the email that you provided in the registration, and that email will contain your ID, your user ID, and it will also contain a temporary password, okay? So you can, right away from here, you can click login, but before you actually are able to log in, you'll have to go to your email to grab that information, right? Which is the ID, your user ID, and then your temporary password. So once you do that, you'll plug it in, your user ID, your password. You'll click login or enter, both work, and then it will tell you that your login expired because you're using the temporary password, right? So then you'll hit continue. So once you do that, it will prompt you to change your password. So that's what you want to do. That's what you want to do. You want to put in your temporary password, and then the password that you'll use from now on. Okay, very important. Do not forget it. But if you do, there is help. Okay, you can get it back, but you don't want to forget it right away. It has happened to me, so just write it down or do whatever it is that you normally do when you have a new password. So once you do that, then you are gonna click on change password. So once you do that, you just registered, okay? You haven't gotten certified. And how do you know that? You can tell because it says no certification record, okay? So there's 2 ways that you can get started with the certification. Get started right here, or apply for certification. So there's the 2 ways in there that you can do it, okay? There's also this other way that you can do it. From the main page, if you say you finished with registration, but you had something to do, okay? So you didn't quite have the time to go on and start the certification, that's fine. From the main page, you can click on Get Certified, and then you click on Get Certified again, where the arrow's at, and then this will start the certification process, okay? Because it will ask you to log in and all that stuff. So once you do that, then you click on the certifications that you think you qualify for. Remember, we already went through the qualifications, what you need, the requirements. So you'll probably have a good idea of which ones you qualify for. Can you click on more than one if you think you qualify for them? Yes, you can. Yep, but remember, you don't need to click on the small business for the purpose of public works if you don't earn more than 15 million, okay? So just click on the small business if that's what you want to do. But can you click on the small business and the disabled veteran business enterprise? Yes, if you qualify for both of them, yes, you can. We also have the nonprofit ones, but for the purpose of this presentation, we're not going to talk about those. We usually just emphasize on the 3 certifications that we speak about, which are the ones that are actually for profit. So once you click there, it's going to take you through a series of questions. Okay, it will be a lot of questions, so make sure that you answer everything correctly. Okay. Oh, and one thing I forgot to tell you, before you begin the certification, make sure that you look at on the first page, and I'm going to go back just a little bit. Sorry. No, I'm just going to go back, but once you begin the before you begin the certification, please make sure that you upload all of the documents that they ask you for. Usually it's like the tax information, anything that has your business with the state secretary. They ask you a few things that you upload them into your computer. It makes the process so much faster if you already have everything in soft copy. Okay, so do that before you begin the certification process. All right, so it's going to ask you a bunch of questions. I don't even remember how many pages there are, but there are several pages. It's quite a bit. So once you do that and you go through all of the pages, you'll get to the terms and conditions. You want to sort of read through all of the information in here. You have to scroll down all the way down, and then you'll have to click on accept the terms, right? Once you do that, then you can click on next. When you hit next, this is the part where it's going to ask you to upload all of the documents that I was telling you to have in soft copy. So it's so much quicker if you already have them uploaded into your computer, because once you get here, see, it's going to ask you for a federal tax return. And in this case, it was 2018. It's whatever the last 3 years is. 2018 is within the last 3 years. So if you do have and have been in business since 2018, then you'll have the tax records for that. So if you have all the documents in soft copy, you'll do search for your attachment for the soft copy of it, and you'll be able to just attach it. Okay, so it just makes things smoother for you. Once you upload everything, then you're gonna hit submit at the bottom, and it will tell you that you have whatever. If you automatically got approved, it will say so. In this case, I think it was Wayne who I took the screenshots from, so you could see what it says. But this one, apply for all 3. Okay, so the DVVE, it's submitted for review. It wasn't auto approved, but the small business and the SBPW, both of them were auto approved. So you'll know. So if you click OK, I believe it takes you into your work center, which is basically your homepage. Your homepage once you're sign in or sign on. Any questions with this section?
Yes. So one of the questions was, what is public works? So the exact definition is, so public works is defined as an agreement for the erection, construction, alteration, repair, or improvement of any public structure, building, road, or other public improvement of any kind. So essentially anything that the state owns. If you're working on buildings, you're working on roads, you're working on property that the state owns, those are all public works contracts. Mm-hmm. And also, and I'm going to put that definition in there just so you guys.
Thank you. Okay. I wouldn't have the exact, I would have given an like a overview.
Yeah, that's why we wanted to wait for this section so we could go over the exact definition. And also, so we went over all of the documents that you'll need. Instead of covering each one of the documents that you need to upload, just when you start to do the certification process, there's going to be a link that says that takes you to the list of documents that you'll need. So before you get started, you can click that link and it will tell you all the documents that you'll need to prepare before you start the application process.
Mm-hmm. So I think I bypassed it.
Yeah, no worries. But so instead of going through each one today, that link is there at the very beginning of the process. All right, I think that was it for this section.
Okay, let's continue. Thank you, Jermaine. All right, so the next section is keywords and UNSC codes. So a keyword is a word that describes a good or service. So anything and everything that you do, you want to list that in your profile, okay? So if you do concrete, you don't want to put a sentence, okay? You want to use individual words, singular. So say you sell paper or pens, you don't want to put that you sell pens, you want to put pen as opposed to pens, and any word can be a keyword. So it's very important, okay? I was helping a business a while ago, and I looked at their website. They had only one thing. It was very general, and they only had one UNSC code and not too many keywords. So I looked at the website and I'm like, you sell all sorts of things. You need to list everything. The system allows you to put, I'm not sure how many, but I think it's over 200. So you have ample room to put all the keywords in there. Make sure that you don't cut yourself short. You want to put everything in there because guess what? Buyers, they look for sellers, okay, or your business by using keywords. So if you don't have, say you sell, I don't know, books, right? And you don't have that in there, your company is not gonna pop up in their search. So you wanna make sure that you put every single product and service that you sell. That's the bottom line. So continuing with the UNSC codes. So the classification of it is an 8-digit code that identifies a good or service, and it works in a hierarchy type of code. Okay, there's 4 levels, and it's by it goes like in twos. So for example, the first level, you can see it in there, is 14, and how you know it's the first level is because you have 6 zeros, and the zeros also are in pairs. Okay, so the second level is 1411. And that describes paper materials and paper products. So it's very broad, right? Because it can go from paper materials, it can even include toilet paper for all I care. And maybe you don't even sell toilet paper, you sell office supplies only, right? Office type of paper materials. So buyers usually look for level 3 and level 4 because they're more specific, and they're more specific to what they're actually probably looking for to buy. Right, so you want to focus on having those kind of level of codes in your profile, okay? And buyers do look by UNSC codes as well. So make sure that you have all of them in there. You can have, I guess, level 1, they call it the parent code, and the other ones are, I guess, the child codes. But you can have all of them. It's okay, doesn't hurt. But if you have just parent codes, you might get a lot of notifications for stuff that you don't sell. So that's why I'm saying be as specific as you can. If you need help with trying to find the UNSC codes, we're always here to help, and there's other places in DGS that also can try to help you, okay? So don't be afraid, don't be shy to reach out to us, and we can try to help as much as we can, right? I think this is what I have in regards to keywords and UNSC codes.
There's no questions on that section. I do just want to emphasize how important this section is. So in this webinar, we don't go into depth on keywords and UNSC codes, and don't think that they're not important because we're not going into depth, because we're going to cover those in the next 2 webinars. But this is extremely important so that you can be found and that you can have access to the opportunities, okay? So keywords in UNSPSC codes, building a robust profile is extremely important. So in the next webinars, we'll cover that more in depth. Just need you to know how important those are. There were no other questions in this section.
Thank you, Jermaine. And thank you for adding that. Yes, super important. Okay, let's go into bid solicitations. Of course, this is very important. We have the California State Contracts Register. That shows you the current bids that are out there, the current contracts. But we also have the state contracts and procurement registration system, which we call skippers. This shows you the past purchases. And I'll talk to you about a little bit later about why it's important to look at this, okay? It's mostly for market research. You can find this in our website, www.CaliProcure.ca.gov. So there, and I did this where I know that there's a lot of arrows, but I wanted to show you that there is, just on the homepage alone, there is 3 ways that you can actually look for bid opportunities. The quickest one, though, is the first one, okay? The quick links. It will take you straight into the area where you look into, that one, and I believe this one too. Will take you straight into searching for contract opportunities. When you click here under the tile, sell to the state, it will take you into another page, and then you'll have to click again on the same name. So this is where, if you click under quick links, under the California State Contract Register, it will take you here. This is where you can do your search. This is where you can search for businesses, for contracts, I'm sorry. And for businesses too, but not really. So what I like to do when I'm looking for contracts, and sometimes because we help sometimes businesses to guide them to look for contracts, I always click on the advanced search criteria, because that opens up to more options, right, of how you can look for contracts. So you can do it by item description, which I use a lot. You can search by UNSPSC codes. You can search by service areas, and also by contractor license type. That's probably super specific to the type of license, okay? So don't click on everything. Do the search by one thing at a time. You don't want to click on item research and then put UNSPSC code. You can do service area at the same time, because then it will show it by the service area and the item description. But try to do maybe item description, service area, if you're looking for a specific area. But if you want to look for all of California, don't click on any areas in the service area. It will open up to all of California. So once you do that, then you hit search, okay? It will take you to the actual result of your search. In this case, I believe I did construction, and I think I did a short span of time, because I think I only did for August, because otherwise you'll have thousands of them. So I did by August of this year, and this is what popped up, okay? Just 6 of them. If you click on any of them, you'll have all of the information about this specific contract. So very important information, the contact information, of course, right? Because you'll know who to contact if you have any questions regarding the contract. But if you're gonna contact the contract administrator, you also want to probably CC the advocate, okay? So they're in the loop and they kind of have you under their radar, and it's very important. You also have on the top right-hand corner, you have the, you can view the event package. So by that, it means that you can look at all of the contract information. It has everything in there, specifications, anything that they're gonna ask for, whatever it is, they're gonna have it there. Something that I didn't talk to you guys about, but you can post vendor ads. So say you find a contract, okay, but the contract is too big for your company, you can be a subcontractor, and you can post an ad in there. So you can say, I can do blah blah blah, and hopefully, if it's a prime getting the contract, hopefully they can look at you and give you that subcontractor work. Because a lot of the times when it's a big job, we do have some. I'm sorry, can you mute yourself? Thank you. You have, when it's big contracts, there are opportunities for subcontracting work. That's the bottom line. And you can post these vendor ads. So when you click on there, a window will pop up, and you'll be able to put your, like your, the name of your company, your, very important to put in there is your certification ID. Because even if you misspell your company name, because it can happen, I misspell my own name. So they can find you by their certification, okay, number. So it's gonna be a small window with you'll put basic information in there, and maybe like a 30-second elevator speech in there, like that kind of information. Another thing that's important in this page is that it has the end date. So very important for this event. Of course, it's passed, okay, because I didn't click on the ones that I had. Because they didn't have the post vendor ads, that's why I didn't click on those. But this one already ended. But let's say the end date was 8/17 at 2 p.m. You want to send your information before 2 p.m. If you send it at 2:01, no good. It's not going to go through. You had to do it before 2 p.m. So it's very important that you look at that information. Okay. All right, so now I told you I was going to talk about looking at past purchases, and there are different ways that you can look at it, but the quickest way, because it takes you already into that search area, is through quick links. So if you click on this part, find past purchases, it takes you right away into the search area. If you click here, it will take you into another page, and then you'll have to click again on, I believe I have it next, past purchases in the state contracting and procurement registration system, or skippers. So you'll have to click twice, as opposed to under here, you'll click and it will take you straight to this page. Okay, so quick links is a little bit quicker to look for bids or past purchases. So why is it important to look at past purchases? Because you can learn what state agencies have purchased in the past, who has won the bids, what type of contracts there are. Were they competitive? Were they LPAs? Were they SV options, the ones that I told you? Were they non-competitive? So it can teach you a lot. And then also, if you are not sure of all the keywords and the UNSC codes that you have, you can look at your competition in here. If you find a company that you know is your competition, you can look at their profile. You can look at what they have, what keywords they've used. And you can also ask maybe the contract administrator why that company won the contract. I don't know. You can do all kinds of stuff. So again, I do the advanced search, because then you can look, you can do by description, okay? Just like we did in the past. Or you can look at by acquisition type. But you can also search by UNSC code. In this example, Wayne looked up whatever that happened to be. I think it was some kind of construction, but I don't remember. And if we look at by construction, and you can see the description, it will give you all the construction contracts that they have been. And I'm not sure, and you can see that it's 23,977, because if you don't put a sort by start date a start date and end date, it will give you everything that's there under skippers. Okay, so, and I think, and Jermaine can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it goes back to like 2016. I think there's contracts in there all the way dating back to 2016. So these are past purchases, okay? But so it's important because you can market yourself to the departments that have purchased what your company sells. So by looking at this information, you can see what state agency has purchased what. And if you look right here, it says the supplier. You can't, it's kind of cut off, but it gives you the supplier name. So you'll know who your competition is, all right? I believe if I go here, it also has the buyer name, their email. But remember, if you're gonna email them, you might also want to email the advocate, because the advocate is the person who's going to work for you. They're going to try to help you win a contract, okay? So that's why it's important to look at past purchases. It's kind of like a marketing research for your company, okay? Are there any questions for this section?
All of the questions have been answered in chat. You're doing a great job. Let's keep going.
Thank you. Thank you, Jeremy. All right, so see how I was talking about SVDVB advocates? They're state employees. They work for you. They work in purchasing at specific departments. And yes, they are here to help your business get contracts, okay? So it is very important to do the research and contact advocate to help you win a contract. And you can find them again in our website, CaliProcure, okay? I'm gonna show you where you can find them. So this is again the home page. If you go through the tiles, the fourth tile on the bottom, that's find training and resources. If you click there, it's gonna take you to a different page. You look under research and marketing, and then you would click on contact a small business and DVBE advocate. So once you click there, it's gonna open up another page. It's gonna take you to their page, the advocate webpage. So you'll have to click on download the advocate directory. So what this will do is it will open up a spreadsheet, okay? And if it doesn't open up right away, you'll just have to click, it will download into your computer and you have to click on open, okay? Once you do that, you'll get the information of all the advocates there are in for all the state agencies, okay? So that's why I was saying that it's important to look in skippers, because once you know you're eyeing a certain department, then you can look here for the advocate in that department, okay? There are certain departments like there's California State Universities, Caltrans, and several others that have more than one advocate because they have more than one office. So again, this is just, it tells you on the top the information that you're seeing. The department, very important if you're in construction. If there's an X next to in this section, then they are in construction, okay? So you can tell California High Speed Rail Authority, California Highway Patrol. So they do a lot of construction work. If you continue down this way, I don't remember if I put it in there, but it has the advocate information. It has their name, it has their email address, their phone number, it has their website to the particular agency. So it has all the information that you will need to find that advocate, okay? Super important. These are people that will work for you to help you, and they're state employees. Any questions?
I think you did a great job with that. There's no questions on that section so far. Let's go ahead and move forward.
Thank you, Jermaine. All right, so this is very important for me to talk about the commercially useful function, because this is something, it's the law. You have to you have to perform CUF. Okay, that's for short, commercially useful function, CUF. There's all the codes, the Small Business Government Code, the DBB, Military and Veterans Code, and yes, there are penalties for not performing CUF and sanctions too. So you really want to perform a commercially useful function. I'm going to go into it, okay? So this is how you know if you perform your CUF, okay? Your business is, you're executing a distinct element, okay? You're performing, managing, and supervising the work. You're doing work that's normal for your firm's business services and functions. You're doing the negotiating and determining the quality, ordering, everything else that comes with the work. And you're not subcontracting a portion of the work that is greater than is expected by industry practices. So there's many contracts that it's known and it's expected that there's going to be subcontracting, and that's okay as long as it's not more than expected. Now, you're not performing CUF if you're just being an extra participant. So say you get a contract and you're using your certification, right, to get it, but you pass it to somebody else. The work, you don't do it. Somebody else, some other company does it. That's passing as an extra participant. That's passing as a pass-through, as a giving the appearance of SB or DBB participation, and that is a violation of CUF. So you would be in violation. So not being used to perform the work as stipulated in the bid. So say a prime subcontracts your company, and for whatever reason they don't use you. That's a violation of CUF. And of course, it may not be you directly not performing CUF, it's the prime, but you would have to report it, right? And you would want to, because you want that money. And also, if you're no longer used to provide the services and goods and services, so in the bid, okay, that's also not okay. So you want to make sure that if you said, I'm going to be doing this, you do that. So whatever it is stipulated in the contract is what you'll have to do. That's performing CUF, okay? Any questions?
I'm gonna give a half a second. Any questions on CUF before we wrap that section up?
I don't know if I'm moving quick.
No, you're doing good. But we're doing real good on time. We're coming up at 11:03 now, so we're doing really good.
Good.
So there's no questions in that section. So let's move forward.
Okay, must be doing great. Thank you. All right. So remember, I told you I was going to talk about resources. We work a lot of the times. We even do webinars with these three agencies. So we have the small business development centers, and this organization usually helps with new businesses. They do business consulting, planning, marketing. They can help with access to capital. Not that they're going to give you the capital necessarily, but they can help you with maybe contacting a bank or, doing that kind of stuff. I did list the websites for you to have, and we also have the Procurement Technical Assistance Center, or PTACs as we call them. These are for established businesses, and they do help you with anything with government contracting. They're super helpful. And usually, I believe a lot of this stuff is for free. You can ask them when you contact them, but a lot of the time it is free. And we also have SCORE, and it's for newer, very new businesses that are barely starting. So they offer business mentorship. I listed all the websites because I think it's very important, because a lot of these organizations will help you with the bonds and writing your, oh my goodness, it's like your curriculum. Oh my God, I'm missing that word. What's it called, Jermaine?
Their business plan?
Business plan.
Yes, thank you. They can help you with that. They can help you with insurance questions. They can help you with all kinds of stuff that maybe you don't know that is needed when it comes to doing business with government, you know? So very important websites to have handy in case you have questions, okay?
And Teresa, these are all in addition to the the Chamber of Commerce that brought you here today. So these are just additional resources to them.
Yes. So your Chamber of Commerce, of course, they're there to help you with any questions. I'm sure they do the similar things or different things. So please reach out to them. If they're not able to help you, maybe they'll get directed to these organizations. Who knows? I mean, I don't know what their job is completely, right? So they will tell you. Reach out to them first. Reach out to your LA Latino first, right? Chamber of Commerce, and ask them the questions, or us. All right. So we're gonna go. I think we might be finishing a little bit earlier. We're gonna do a review. So we did do an overview of the SB-DBBE certification program. We went a little bit over the CaliProcure registration and certification. I really wanted to show you all the screenshots, you know, and that's why I got so many of them, because it's important so that you can see them and see kind of what to expect. We talked briefly about keywords and Unsc codes. We also talked about bid solicitations, the current and past purchases. I briefly showed you and told you about the SB-DBBE advocates, and they're super important because they can help you to hopefully get contracts or direct you, or if you give them your information, they'll have it handy, and hopefully when a contract comes by that they think you qualify for, they might shoot you an email and say, you know, hey, there's this contract coming up, look it up. And of course, super important, we talked briefly about commercially useful function, because it is important that you perform CUF. I didn't go into the penalties and stuff, but there are penalties. It could be financial. I mean, penalties. You'll have to pay sanctions for it, or even not be able to contract with the state for years if you have a violation. And I also briefly spoke about the resources that we have, which is, you know, of course, your Chamber of Commerce, your PTAX, your scores, and your SBDC. So we have all those things that can help you, and most of them are free. So please use all of them, use us. We're here to help, you know. If you have contracted with the state and you have gotten a good contract, if you please share your success stories with us. We like to post them on our website, you know, make a little video and post them there. And someone said, but why would a company want to post that they're being successful? Why not? That's free marketing for you. You'll be in our how to do business website. People could see you. You don't have to put how many dollars you got, you know. You don't have to say, oh yeah, I got a $5 million contract. No, you're gonna talk about your success doing business with the state. And it's free advertisement because your company name will be there. If you need to talk to us, okay, we do have, we do have a way for you to book an appointment, okay, by scanning this code. So put it in your phone, copy it, okay, take a picture of it so you'll have it. If you need to talk to somebody, I mean, Jermaine is one of the people that gets those appointments. So you'll be able to talk to him, and I believe is Jermaine, Wayne, Michael, I think Darwin also, Jermaine?
Yes, yep.
Yeah, so you'll be able to talk to them who are, they're super savvy about all this stuff. You know, I'm the new person here in the group, but they've been here a while, especially Jermaine. Wayne and Michael, but Jermaine is super savvy. So you can book an appointment there. Now we also have a LinkedIn page, so please follow us. We list in here. We list webinars that we have. Sometimes they list. Do they list contracts, Jermaine? I believe we do, right?
Occasionally.
Occasionally,
yeah.
But for the most part, it's going to be information about our webinars and resources that may be useful to you. So please follow us on LinkedIn, okay? I think I'm pretty much done. Thank you. Thank you so much for participating and for joining us and being here and asking the questions. And if you have any more questions, this is the time. We have plenty of time.
So there was one more question that came up that we wanted to save for the group in relation to when you get paid. So how many days does it take for you to get paid? And this is really important. So the Prompt Payment Act requires that you're paid within 45 days of an undisputed invoice, right? Why this is so important is that the state doesn't prepay for goods or services. So what that means is that you have to have the financing to be able to either deliver the goods or do the job and be able to float your business for 45 days until you're actually paid, right? So you want to take that in consideration when you're taking on state contracts, because it goes like this sometimes. At the first time you get a state contract, it'll be like, whoa, I got a state contract. And then it'll be like, whoa, I got a state contract, right? And so how do you get from the award to execution to payment, right? And so you want to make sure that you take those things into consideration so that you always have good standing with the departments that you want to do business with.
Yeah. Remember how I talked about those organizations that can probably help you get loans or stuff or direct you to the places? That's why I was talking about loans, because you'll need the capital, because you won't get paid until you finish the job and then up to 45 days after you finish the job. So it's very important to have capital fluency, you know, to pay your employees and yourself. So you'll need to probably, if you don't have the money, the funds, you'll need to probably get a loan of some type. Okay.
Looks like those were all the questions. Let's look at contact info.
Yeah. So again, here is our contact information. My name again, Teresa Macias Ruiz and Jermaine Carter Gibson. We're both business outreach liaisons. I am bilingual, so if you need Spanish, I'm here for you. We also have another bilingual liaison, Araceli. She can also help, but we're both here for you. I had given our email information. I didn't put it here. It was kind of big, the information. It was a lot of information already, but it's teresa.macias-ruiz@dgs.ca.gov, and then jermaine.cartergibson@dgs.ca.gov. And then this is our go-to email. If you have any other questions and you don't remember ours, business outreach. Our group is business outreach. Business outreach is our email address, business_outreach@dgs.ca.gov. And then this is our main page, webpage, www.dgs.ca.gov, and it's for procurement. Okay.
So I'd like to thank Teresa and Jermaine for graciously giving us your time, a lot of knowledge. I hope that everyone who participated in this webinar got some really good meat on how you can be certified and the advantages of doing so. So I know we recorded this webinar and we'll be sharing it on our website later today. But before we end, I'd like to make sure that everyone is signed up for part 2 Certified Now What? And that's next Tuesday, August 10th at 10 a.m. And then our last webinar is on the 17th, and that one is called Contracting with the State of California. So if you haven't registered, go to lalcc.org. And in the next couple of minutes, we'll be sharing a survey. We hope you can complete it. It'll just take a couple minutes, but it's important for us to get your feedback on how we're doing and what we can do better. So I want to thank you for your time, and we'll see you next Tuesday. Thank you, everyone.
Bye,
Thank you so
everyone.
much. Bye.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.